Hey Popcorn Junkies, how you doing? Time for a trailer reaction. We haven't had one of these in a while. And here we have a trailer for a film called Rebel Moon. Anyone here a Zack Snyder fan? He's a big thing. He's a big fish in the world of Batman, Superman, Justice League and all that kind of stuff. There was Justice League, the Snyder Cut, wasn't there? Which was re-released or released. It wasn't re-released because it wasn't released, was it? On HBO Max. Well, he did that film 300, which I remember seeing the posters for and thinking, nah, not my cup of tea, too much CGI and all that malarkey. He did Watchmen, which a lot of people liked, Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. The kids loved that film back in 2010. Man of Steel, obviously, Superman and all that kind of stuff, but most notably Justice League, for which, of course, he was kind of taken off, and then there was the big sort of campaign to get the Snyderverse version of it, made and what have you. He's a fan of. I think one of the things I've noticed or sensed about his more recent films is he likes macro detail and micro detail to world building and fantasy and all this kind of stuff. So it's no surprise that this new film, which is called Rebel Moon, is something that would have, I think, when I was much younger, appealed to me. I'm hoping it'll appeal to me now. I don't know why. Rebel Moon, this is his new film. So he's directed, it's a kind of an American space opera. When they say space opera, though, I often think of things like Star Wars or Guardians of the Galaxy, which have a bit of a camp sense of humour. And one thing I don't necessarily know or think that Zack Snyder engages in is camp. So this could be quite serious. I'm wondering whether this Rebel Moon might be a bit more along the lines of Dune, a bit more like that Apple TV series Foundation, a bit more Isaac Asimov and all that kind of stuff. So what's the premise of this? In a universe controlled by the corrupt government of the Motherworld, the moon of Velt is threatened by forces of the Imperium. It's never the Empire. Is it the Imperium? Got to find another way to say Empire. So it's threatened by the forces of the Imperium, which is the army of the Motherworld. Cora, a former member of the Imperium, seeks redemption for her past in the leadership of the oppressive government, tasks herself to recruit warriors from across the galaxy to make a stand against the Motherworld's forces. This is also known as Rebel Moon Part 1, so this could be one in a series of films. There's a huge Snyder sort of fan base out there, so there could be a market for this. This could work. I tell you what, this could work for me if in watching it, I feel that we've got a really fully considered, constructed, layered, detailed world building. If we've got that, then I could sign up to something like this. I'm up for something. Star Wars has just got a bit baggy, hasn't it? Marvel is kind of on the back foot and has got so confused with all its multiverses that it's literally gone up its own proverbial multiverse. And DC, as Snyder himself will probably realise, is just sort of spinning out of control, still riffing on 1980s superheroes. So without further ado, let's check out Rebel Moon. Ooh, I like that.
Do you know the story of the Princess Issa?
No?
In myth, she was called the Redeemer. It was said this child would stop the madness of war. That she was to usher in a new age of peace and compassion. I was given memories of a world I will never see. Loyalty to a king I cannot serve. And love for a child I could not save.
What do you think they want?
Everything.
I found her. Scargiver.
A young child of war. I was taught that love is weakness. There is a difference between justice and revenge.
There is a price to pay for your defiance. Shh. One moment. I do love this part.
Hold on.
I don't want no trouble.
We're not here to bring any.
Are you ready?
You and I both know fear. Let's show them that we're not afraid. Let's show them we are more than the shackles that bind us.
A king is a man, and a man can fail. But a myth is indestructible.
The time has come for all that you love. Protect each other and show them no mercy.
Who among you is willing to die for what you believe?
Wowzers, godowzers. I have to say, he does good trailer. He does good trailer. I liked it. I liked that. I'd watch that. I got excited. I mean, I must admit, I felt they were ticking off every conceivable fantasy / sci-fi territory, if you like. You had griffins in there. You had, so you've got that sort of Game of Thrones-esque kind of Lord of the Rings type thing with the kind of, you know, the winged eagle lion type creatures. You even had Conan the Barbarian with the sort of Jason Momoa type jumping through and landing on the griffin. You had Dune with the kind of stone landscape and the kind of, you know, the breathing apparatus on the faces. Obviously sort of superhero-y. It was least superhero-y, actually, superhero-y, actually, of all those sort of genres. Very much Star Wars element there with some of the creatures going on. I was even getting Tomb Raider vibes. She looks strong. She looks vibrant. Was that Anthony Hopkins? Was that Anthony Hopkins' voice there? Because it had, or if it wasn't Anthony Hopkins, it was a sort of renter Anthony Hopkins or Anthony Hopkins light commentary voiceover going on there. I liked all that stuff around the, you know, the guys with the sacks on their heads. So you had that sort of strange kind of cultish kind of element to it. I like the weaponry. You were getting steampunk. You were getting, you know, there's kings, there's thrones. I mean, there's a lot in there to like. There's a lot in there to, and the creature, come on. For me, it got really interesting with the kind of strange spidery creature. Even with some of the characters there with kind of lightsaber-like kind of action going on. So you do, you know, I do wonder if there is somewhat of a, you know, chuck in everything in the kitchen sink when it comes to sci-fi and fantasy and established kind of, you know, escapist kind of movie franchises and mush them all together and create something of your own. So yeah, if I'm getting any kind of riffing here, I feel like this could occupy the space that Dune would have occupied this year if Dune gets moved. Obviously, there's a lot of chat about whether Dune could be moved if the writer's strike and actor's strike doesn't resolve itself. On the basis of that, I'd watch it.